And Markku, if you can free the screen sharing, please. So.
All right.
Buenos días. Good morning. Estamos listos en este momento para comenzar. We are ready now to start our new EN talk now for a country that we have been exploring in different ways through different phases, through a lot of entities in the recent year, which is Finland, and very happy to be here in order to deploy now this new version of the EN talk. We are recording, FYI. We have already some SMEs or some entities present here. And just to kick it off, in order to make the most out of the space, I'm Sebastián Bustamante. I'm one of the two co-founders of the Impact Hub in Colombia, also Enterprise Europe Network in Colombia coordinator. And it's a pleasure to be here. Very quickly, in terms of the Enterprise Europe Network, we are the biggest and more robust enterprise support ecosystem for internationalization in the world. We are in over 40 countries. This is a network of around 400 locations throughout the world with an impressive track record in terms of creating partnerships, trust, and overall deployment of services throughout different capacities. And we as Enterprise Europe Network in Colombia, we exist over a year and a half now, maybe a little bit less. And the idea behind bringing the Enterprise Europe Network into Colombia is to foster the capacities and opportunities our SMEs have to sustainably access foreign markets, in this case, and more prioritarily, the European markets. We coordinate the network with a national consortia of entities comprised of several chambers of commerce, a couple of governmental agencies as well, and also 2 or 3 bilateral institutions that help us to bring the capacities to every single corner in Colombia and to deploy a diverse set of services to our customers, or organizations, or partners that are part of the Enterprise Europe Network. This is Impact Hub. Probably most of you know the Impact Hub or have been engaged with the Impact Hub. At the moment, we are a global entity as well in over 60 countries. As Impact Hub in Colombia, we've been in the country for the past 5 years. So we are located in Medellin, in Cali, and in Bogota, and we coordinate for the country the Enterprise Europe Network in Colombia. And we work closely with the European Union delegation in the country, with its ambassador, Gilles, and we find ourselves being articulated around different themes and topics, like the Global Gateway, European Union massive strategy, the free trade agreement, of course, that we hold at the moment with the European Union, and several other topics like rural development, gender and inclusion, youth, and so on. And this set of EN talks are part of a wider effort that we carry every month in order to help internationalization to happen in a way that is sustainable for startups and that is also relevant for the enterprise ecosystem in the country. Welcome once again. Now it is the turn of Meija, one of our dearest partners for not just this process, but also for the underlying processes of creating cooperations between Colombia and Finland. In this case, Meija comes with the representation of the Enterprise Europe Network in Helsinki region from the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Meija. The floor is yours. I think you're still muted.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
So, buenos dias. My name is Maija Kärkäs, and it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this EN Talks Part Finland. Can you see my slide just now or not?
Very well.
Yes, you can. Excellent. So I work as the head of the team at Enterprise Europe Network at the Helsinki Region Chamber of Commerce. And we are the largest chamber in the Nordics based on voluntary membership. You can see some facts about our activities. It's been a great pleasure to cooperate with EN Colombia. And I believe we have a program that will allow you to learn about the Finnish landing system for foreign companies today. So without further ado, thank you for joining and welcome. That's all from my side, and over to you, Sebastian.
Thank you for this. Just be reminded that we will be, of course, sharing the different materials and presentations that you're going to be accessing to the Zoom. And let's get into it. I want to welcome Markku Kivistö from Invest in Finland. He's going to take us through the next 15 minutes and probably to answer one very important question, which is why Finland? Welcome, Markku.
Hey, thank you very much. And let me share a couple of thoughts from here. So maybe if somebody could release the screen sharing. So
Yeah, Maija, can you free up the screen sharing, please?
Yes, sorry, I have a little trouble because the screen somehow changed. I need to find the place. Sorry, just a sec.
Yeah, I activated a new option.
Yeah, I don't know, they somehow changed the whole, I can't even see any presentation at the moment. I will just quickly leave and then come back up. Maybe that's easiest if I find the way to leave. Yeah, I will try to do that.
And now it should be free.
all right, and I guess now you can see my screen.
Oh, not yet. I think it's coming now.
Does it work?
We can't see it yet.
All right, let me.
Maybe
All right, yeah.
we can move on with Hanna.
No, let's see that. Yeah, now it should be coming up.
Now we can see it.
All right. Very good. So I hope you can see it now. So
It's good.
very good. So first, warmly welcome, and it is really a pleasure to work with the ENN and also building the bridges between Finland and Colombia. So Finland, our approach is about the cooperation and working on the, let's say, the big topics that are common for every one of us. So sustainability, the climate change, and then making good for the society, but then also building a good businesses. So that's why this cooperation is very, very important. And way back when I've been also working in Colombia when we were building, let's say, the telecom networks in Colombia. So that was the time when the Nokia was very well known in Colombia. So being there tens of times, mainly in Bogota. So good to connect with the team down there. So I'm heading the Cleantech Investing team here in Finland, and together with the colleagues, we are then the national organization promoting that international companies coming to Finland and helping them out. And we do that together with the multitude of the good organizations that we'll be hearing also beforehand and then after my presentation. So a couple of thoughts that I wanted to. So first, I wanted to kind of position Finland on the map. So we are kind of, let's say, way up north here, but we are also part of the, let's say, EU, we are part of the Europe, we are part of the common value chains and common markets. So when we look at this from the business angle, so we see that Finland is, in a way, we are the gateway, not only to the Finnish market, but it's also for the Nordic market, and then also more broadly for the European market. So consider that when you are looking into coming into Europe and put Finland then on the map in that sense. So we are very strongly tied into the European economy, and there the Green Deal, climate change topics are very important. Then Finland is known at least on the two things. One is that the sustainability, we put that very high on the map, and we have been ranked now 3 times a year three times in a row the most sustainable nation in the world. Another ranking we have been excelling is the happiness. So we've been ranked also the happiest country in the world now for 6 years in a row. So we think that the kind of the sustainability and the happiness, they go clearly hand in hand together with the values for the family. So I picked up a couple of things on the digitalization here, so that where we are holding a good position and the companies. So now the artificial intelligence that is picking up all over. Also the cybersecurity comes, considering also the geopolitical world we are living in. Thanks to our electricity being practically CO2 free, and then very tight IP protection, good connectivity, the data centers, the cloud services are prospering, and that will then enable the various, let's say, autonomous vehicles, autonomous production lines. Then another thing that we are world known is then the connectivity technologies, starting from the 2G. Now there's an intense amount of the research already on the 6G, but then the various, let's say, the private networks, mesh networks, and so forth. Quantum computing, that is now, let's say, growing well. Metaverse, based on the gaming industry, that has been emerging here, multitude of the startups, and then the photonics know-how. So these are some of the samples of the let's say, industries that are growing here, and some we are really the, let's say, world class. So this would be kind of like the good companies to partner up, good companies to learn, but then this is also builds the network of very competent individuals. So digitalization is a big topic for us. A little bit about the business environment. So maybe a couple of things that I already mentioned about the happiness, the stable education. We value the education from the child up into the universities, because we believe that the skills, that is something that what we need to invest in, and then also the governance, so that we have very, let's say, stable, structured way how we work. So essentially, there's kind of small engineer built in every Finn. So we love kind of problem solving, but where we are not very good is in marketing. So in a way, we go from one problem solving to another one, and when we find then another one, and then continue. So we are really kind of telling that what we have been doing. So that's, I think, the way we can improve and then work together with more broadly. Then sustainability. So we take that very broadly, so that there is this ESG topic. So the social aspect, as mentioned, the education, economics. So also that when we talk about the sustainability, we think that it needs also to be the good business, because otherwise it will not be progressing, but it needs to be, let's say, being done in, let's say, sustainable manner. Environment, as, let's say, the picture on the background, that's actually from the Finnish forest in the middle of the winter. So we love the forest, we love the, let's say, the nature, and that also builds the respect. So essentially, we don't have any fossil fuels here in the country, so we need to kind of respect the nature, because we have been living together with the nature for a long time. Family life. So this is important, because that when you have things in order with the family, also the rest of the, let's say, the work, the society works much better. So family life is one that we really respect, and let's say the life balance. Again, this kind of humble Nordic approach in working together with the society, working together with the colleagues. A little bit about the innovation technology. So this is important now, especially in the current world, that the protection of the IP, and there we are one of the best in the world protecting, so that we want that also the innovation remains with the ones who have created it. We love competition, because we think that is then also where the, let's say, prosperity is being created, and then the industry university collaboration. So we are trying to do so that universities, they work together with the industry, so that would become smooth path from the universities. And that's something where we are also working from the Business Finland side on the innovation funding side. A little bit about ICT. So I picked up here let's say Nokia as an example, because I think that's known for at least for a little bit older generation there in Colombia also well. So the mobile phone segment, there was some reorganization, Microsoft, the crisis, the iPhone came, and then I would say the collapse. But then what actually happened was that there was about 1,000 companies that came out from the Nokia. There were teams who actually set it up their own businesses. There was funding coming. So that actually boosted the immensely large startup ecosystem. And here's just some of the samples. So that's actually created, you can say it was bad that the Nokia mobile phone didn't prosper, but at the same time, it actually created much more vibrant startup ecosystem. And some are now, over the years, they have been prospering. Some have been growing to the global talent. Some have been then also growing and merging and so forth. So that is actually the ecosystem for the ICT companies that you could be joining. A little bit about the money. So corporate tax rate, this is one of the lowest in the whole Europe. So again, that when you look into the setting up of companies in different parts of the European soil. Business Finland side, what we do is that we do funding for the research projects. We do also innovation projects, R&D. So SMEs that this audience is here. So we offer grants for their projects at the earlier innovation stage, and then when they are getting closer to the market, so higher TRL levels, then we typically operate with the loans. A little bit about the talent. So Finland, we have been considered by the European Commission the leader in the digitalization. So this is then, let's say, we have kind of like the digital genes, and very literal on the digitalization. So the talent education, again, that the talent pool is here. Obviously, let's say, very competitive in that sense, but this would be then kind of the team that you would be joining. Cost side. So sometimes we say that the Finnish engineers are a bargain when you look into the valuation, but this is just a sample of the 100-employee software center. So again, the kind of cost-effective way of operating would be one of the topics. So if and when you start looking into coming to European soil, so we are here to help together with the colleagues that will be presenting. And here's one case example that we had the German big multinational company. So they looked into the R&D. It was about the IoT, next-gen wireless monitoring system. So together with our teams, we helped them to find, let's say, a small team. We found them different partners, and we also then provided some funding. So the R&D project has been a great success. So this was in a way kind of corporate venturing type of operation, and then building the network of the companies working together on this IoT connectivity analytics side. So this was in a way a good sample how even the big companies can benefit from working together with the startups. Foreign companies in Finland, I just kind of pulled up here some of the logos, so that of the companies, and I'm sure you can recognize quite a few of them. So I focus now intensely on the ICT digitalization, but we have also, for example, on the electrification, important now for the climate change mitigation. We have the health tech companies, financial institutions, many of the, let's say, industrial companies, so that are having, let's say, Finland also as their base for the Nordic markets, but then also some cases for the kind of they started the European expansions from here. So long list of the logos, some of the American companies that are working here, and then also the Asian companies. So in a way, we are, let's say, like a gateway to the European market and open country for people coming here, open country for business. And I said that some of the topics we work is on the climate change mitigation. And we have a saying here that it's not only that what can we do, that we shouldn't ask that what does the climate change mean for us, but we should actually ask that what can we do for the climate change together. And with that note, very warmly welcome to Finland, and then also work with the team over here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this robust and concise presentation, Markku. And the screen is free, and it's free for Hanna, that is joining us at the moment from Business Finland, Senior Advisor. Pleasure to have you here with us today. She's going to take us through the startup ecosystem in Finland. Just an FYI, we are broadcasting live in YouTube as well. So a little bit more of audience is joining us through that channel. Anna, welcome. And we can see very well the screen.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to you all. My name is Hanna Riski. I'm working as Markku's colleague here in Business Finland in a unit called Work in Finland. And my task is to attract innovative startup companies to Finland. And it's great to be here today in an EN Talks event, as I have also a close relationship with the Enterprise Europe Network, as I was the coordinator of the network in Finland for various years and was working, for example, together with the chamber for many years. So great to be here. I'm going to present the startup ecosystem of Finland today. I have some same content as did my colleague Markku in his presentation, because of course the same elements that make Finland a great place to do business are also kind of the key elements of our startup ecosystem here in Finland. I'm going to present shortly the startup ecosystem of Finland, some background for it, Business Finland's role in the startup ecosystem, and also the startup residence permit, which is something that Finland is offering for innovative startup founders. Here is a slide that Markku already presented, but it also gives kind of a good foundation for the startup ecosystem here. Finland is #1 in various aspects: sustainable development, business environment, best governance, most stable country, first for skills development at work, and also among the top 10 innovative countries in the world. Our country brand, here are kind of the key elements of our country brand. We are a trustworthy country, stable, safe, equitable, welfare state with an educational system that is one of the best in the world. Work-life balance, you're able to have a great career here, but also enjoy life, quality life after the working hours. We have many thriving companies here, innovation, strong technological expertise, and so on. And as also Markku was mentioning, close cooperation between companies, universities, and research institutions. And sustainability, green, we have unique nature, and it's actually pretty accessible also here from Helsinki, and people are also keen to protect it. And Finland is a global expert in climate challenges and solutions. Finland is also home to many unicorns. Gaming industry, it's really strong here. We have Rovio, Supercell, Small Giant. We have different kind of B2B SaaS companies. Health tech is one of our strong sectors. And for example, Oura is one of the unicorns from that sectors. We have Relex from a logistics company, AlphaSense, a fintech company, Volt, a food tech company, and so on. And there are new unicorns emerging as well. We have IQM, a deep tech company, ICEYE, a space tech company, and so on. So pretty much from this slide, you can also see many of the strong sectors of the startup ecosystem here in Finland. Well, here's a picture about the Finnish startup ecosystem builders. First of all, we have private and public funding available. Business Finland, my host organization, is providing different kind of funding instruments for startups. I'm going to go to that a bit later. Finnvera, which is considered kind of the state bank, is providing loans and guarantees for international trade. And then we have Finnish Venture Capital Association, Finnish Business Angels Network, and so on. We have great startup events here in Finland. Some of you might have heard about Slush, which is one of the best known startup events in the world, bringing startups, investors, and media together during the darkest days of November here in Helsinki. We have Arctic 15 in June, Junction, a big hackathon. And actually, a couple of weeks back, we relaunched the polar bear pitching in Oulu. So basically, in this event, startups are able to pitch to investors, but they have to be swimming in an ice hole. So something really, really Finnish. We have different kind of communities, co-working spaces, Maria 01 here in the capital region, which is going to double its size in the coming years. Spark Up in Turku, A-Crit in Espoo, and so on. Then we have a regional business advisors working for the cities. And of course, after me, you're going to hear more about this when Teemu from Business Helsinki is going to present their services. But that's actually something that is not available everywhere. So the cities are offering free of charge soft landing services for international founders. They help you in establishing the company, finding funding, helping your spouse to find a job, and so on. And then we, of course, have different kind of accelerators and incubators. We have more general ones, such as Kiwas and Red Brick, but then we also have really sector-specific incubators and accelerators, such as Terkko Health Hub for health tech solutions, Esabic for space-related solutions, and so on. And here are also some of the cornerstones of the startup ecosystem here in Finland. First of all, the education system here in Finland. It gives great foundation for R&D development, innovation development, and actually many of the international founders who have arrived to Finland to establish a startup company here have told us that one of the reasons that they have chosen Finland is the education system, because that's also great for your children. We have social and government support. It's okay to fail as a startup also here in Finland. We have a great welfare system and different kind of support, grants and loans for startup companies. And then mindset and attitude. It's kind of a community, the startup ecosystem here in Finland, which is based on trust, community building, and so on. And the hierarchy here in Finland, it's pretty low, so it's easy to approach different, for example, CEOs. And always when you ask a question, if a person that you ask the question from is not able to help you, they're always going to find a next person who is able to help you. So the community spirit is really strong here in Finland. I already mentioned the cities, and Teemu is going to present this more in detail, but the cities have a really strong role here in the startup ecosystem in Finland. Capital region, Tampere, Turku, and Oulu are providing these soft landing services for startup founders. And there are also this kind of test bedding opportunities in Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku. And the focus areas are EdTech, built environment, health and well-being, smart mobility, and circular economy. Then just shortly about Business Finland, my host organization. So Business Finland, we are a governmental organization acting under the Ministry of Employment and the Economy. And our target is to help Finnish companies grow and go international. We provide funding for research, development, and innovation activities. We have a truly global organization. We have offices in over 30 countries all over the world. And together with our colleagues globally, we help Finnish companies in export, internationalization. We provide market research, market opportunities, and so on. And as already mentioned, we also attract investments to Finland, promote tourism to Finland, and also our unit where I work at Business Finland, we attract talents and startup companies to Finland. Business Finland main services for startups is our funding instruments for R&D and business development projects, and also the advice work and different kind of networks that we have for companies once they want to start expanding into new markets. I have a slide about our funding, which I'm going to go through. And one thing is good to remember that Business Finland funding is for those companies that are registered here in Finland. They have the headquarters here in Finland. They need to have an innovative and scalable business idea, and they need to be looking for international growth. But basically, our funding is for research, product, business development projects. Our funding is always project-based. So basically, you have a project, you have specific targets, you have a specific budget, and then you apply for funding from Business Finland for that project. We have both grants and loans, and usually it's about 50 to 70% of project budget, the Business Finland part. And it's always co-funded, so Business Finland funding is never 100%. The company always needs to have funding of their own as well. It's non-dilutive, no equity stake, and it has been also investigated that Business Finland funding for startups is especially important in the early stages when the company starts to grow and go international. Here is a picture about Business Finland funding helps also startups attract VC funding easier. So basically the VCs are seeing as Business Finland is sharing kind of the risk together with them, and the VCs are also considering that, okay, Business Finland has granted funding for this company, somebody has been already going through the business idea and the team and the competitive advantage. And kind of it has been proven that Business Finland funding helps these startups also to attract VC funding easier. Finland, we have investors for the whole growth path of the startup company, starting from the seed phase, early stage, late stage, and growth stage. I'm not going to go through these investors now, but it's good to know that the investor landscape in Finland has been evolving during the recent years, and we have been able to attract also international investors to Finland, for example, the Nordic Ninja. And also something that we always tell to our startup clients that before you start reaching out to these investors and different kind of VCs, get to know them first, because some of them might be funding only companies from a specific sector, and some of them might be funding a specific technology such as platform. So it's always good to know the VC before you start approaching them. And then as my last topic, I'm going to explain shortly the startup permit, which is something that Finland launched 2018 to attract innovative startup entrepreneurs to Finland. So basically, it's a residence permit for startup founders who are coming outside the European economic area to establish a startup company in Finland. They might already have a startup company in another country, but for the startup permit, they need to move the headquarters of that company to Finland. So basically, the requirements for the startup permit are pretty much the same as for the Business Finland funding. You need to have at least 2 co-founders, an innovative business idea which can be scaled internationally. And Business Finland has a role in the process. We evaluate the business idea, the resources, the team, the competitive advantage before the team can apply for the actual residence permit from Migri. And the permit is issued for maximum of 2 years. There's a possibility to apply for extension, and your spouse and children can apply as family members. with this slide, this actually goes for both Business Finland clients, but also for the startup permit clients, that what are we looking for? We are looking for ambitious startup teams who are looking for truly international growth. The headquarters, IPRs, and the central team need to be here in Finland. There needs to be a dedicated team. It's always good that the business idea would be a bit further than only on the idea phase. There would be an MVP or prototype already ready, some feedback from the market. The solution would have some kind of competitive advantage, sufficient resources, and true passion for growth. But thank you. That was shortly about the startup ecosystem of Finland. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you for this, Anna, and several different flavors throughout the presentation. Now we're going to hear Teemu. Happy to see you here as well. And yeah, she's going to share with us the 22 reasons to move your startup to Finland, capital region. And he comes with us from Sisu Factory Soft Landing Service. He's the soft landing lead from Business Helsinki. Then welcome. We will share with you. We can see your screen.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Let me see if this is going to work. Okay, are you able to see this first slide?
Yes, very well.
Excellent. So I'm starting like following Hanna's presentation. So, and also Markku's, what we are number one in Finland, and well, not going into deep this, and I hope that you could also share all these presentations. Let me, is this now? The slide seems not.
We can.
Okay, now, yeah. So about our capital region, so our startup community is based on trust, care, and community. So I'm going to little bit open these themes or basic layers on which we are building our startups. Let's start from our northern lights. So yes, indeed, in winter time it's a little bit chilly, but also quite magnificent views. This was, by the way, taken just nearby my house, even in Helsinki, although quite a lot illumination in city of Helsinki, but you are able to see northern lights even in Helsinki. Okay, and I promised to tell a little bit about Sisu Factory. So please visit this website. And I'm not going to tell these secret 22 benefits that you will get. Instead, you are able to see tools on Sisu Factory. It's a website looking like this. So we have designed this as a user interface for startups around the globe to get like a easy understanding what we have to offer here, and also to connect with me and my team. We are all together 5 persons in capital region municipalities serving purely for you, and all our services are free of charge. So your success is our success, and that's our only mission. Then this is the, if you are ordering from Sisu Factory, this will be the PDF file which you will get from that. And we are also asking you to provide, I'm interested, there is the slot, I'm interested, and then we are asking your pitch deck and website and couple of other questions. It won't take more than 3 minutes to apply through that, and then our team will contact you, and you will get more understanding. But yeah, so what is important for Finns, despite of the coldness outside, of course, sauna. So in Finland we have 5.5 million people, and I think currently we have something like 3.5 million saunas. And naturally, so we were organizing a couple of weeks ago a sauna pitching event, as in Oulu they were organizing a polar bear pitching. So here in more south, as Oulu is further north in Finland, so we were having sauna pitching event as an example how we are promoting this kind of equal and also a little bit positively crazy settings. What we have here in the capital region, we have something more than 3,000 startups, more than 100 startup platforms, more than 500 investors, and so forth. Here are the links. For example, you can visit Helsinki Deal Room, so you are able to see all the details. You need to log in by your email, and then you are able to see all the startups, investors, and so forth. Similar can be explored on Espoo site. Espoo is known for deep tech, but attached to Helsinki city, also health and creative industries. Some of the most known gaming companies are also coming from Espoo. Then we have Vantaa, the municipality in Vantaa, and there is, for example, there is this logistics, quite active logistics ecosystem, and they are also aiming quite a lot on carbon neutrality, and also there you can enjoy sauna and also drop into ice cold water. Besides of logistics, there is food tech in Vantaa, property tech, and manufacturing businesses. Here are some of the companies located there. High-tech companies like Vaisala, which is the leading measuring analytics company for forecasting weather conditions. Well, we already captured that we are #1 in venture capital in EU investors. Finnish Business Angels Network is the most active one in Europe, and the reason is thanks that we are so small, so our business angels, they are collaborating very closely in whole nation, which is different than compared for other European countries, as they're typically business angels are like a clubs in certain cities. Then we have also Finnish Venture Capital Association. You are able to access and see the venture capital funds under this association. Some of the biggest funding rounds, and as Hanna as well mentioned, so all these recent years, funding rounds have been increasing, and especially recently, the absolute number of the funding rounds has been a little bit decreasing, but the amounts have been increasing, meaning that all the rounds are bigger and bigger, as you can see on this slide. Important on this slide is that 75% of all the investments are coming outside of Finland, and that's like the secret sauce how we are able to make you global startups since day one. So we are inviting investments from different parts, from US, Asia, so forth. And thanks to that, then you will get the access to those markets by these outside investors. So we are the launchpad for global success, not the market as such, as we are only 5.5 million people. Here you can see all kinds of industries, verticals, you name it. Nordic Ninja was mentioned. 2 main events. Slush is the biggest one. The most founder-focused event in the world will be organized in November 17th and 18th this year. We are also inviting you to participate, and we will be organizing our own program later this year. But already for June, we are going to organize a specific competition for Arctic 15, and we are going to choose 20 best startups, which will be invited the first week in June to come here. First 3 days we will tailor-made specific program based on your needs, and then 2 last days will be the Arctic 15 event itself. This is a really nice, cozy event, but also you are meeting most of the most important VCs from Europe during that event, but not too crowded. And also Arctic 15, it's because it's in June, so it's not so cold, so that might be a like soft landing for Colombian startups. Please visit once again Sisu Factory and apply for this opportunity. Plenty of test beds, as Hanna mentioned. Our cities are offering all our different aspects of living as a test bed. Is it about schooling? Is it about health? For example, we have the health incubator Helsinki, so it's located in the main hospital of the Nordic countries. We are also providing all the data that our cities are producing. It's open for your usage. Sea, of course, we are by the sea, so we are making different innovations based on that. In Finland, we have the best air quality in the world, as well as the best water. Everywhere you can drink tap water, and we are also taking care of these and also making new innovations related to air, water, and so forth. Maria 01 is the biggest Nordic startup campus. I'm just skipping. You can also check out these statistics. For example, on this slide, you can see that something more than 7,000 has been employed by Maria 01 startups so far. This slide is quite important. So this used to be hospital in Helsinki, and these buildings number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are existing at the moment. But now we are going to build some more space, meaning building blocks 5, 6, and 7. And after that, we will be the biggest startup campus in Europe. And remember, in country which is one of the smallest in Europe. This is just like an illustration what it could look like. Here are some Business Helsinki, some content about our services. We are connecting you with different ecosystems. Is it about education, health, blockchain, XR, games, AI, and of course the most important part is the one-on-one personal business mentoring. And I already mentioned about Health Incubator Helsinki and Helsinki Education Hub, as well Helsinki EdTech Incubator. We also have a Business Helsinki Accelerator, which means that you are able to get longer term mentoring. So my colleagues, they are helping you to get funding, get connected with investors, and also potential partners as well as, of course, with potential clients as well. Our soft landing team, so we are basically helping you since that day when you start considering Finland as a place to make your growth, and this is exactly at this moment.
So we have 1 more minute and then we'll be on time, if that's okay.
Okay, so here is our soft landing team, so please feel free to contact us by email or as well as Sisu Factory, so please visit that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also be reminded that we will be sharing as well presentations that you have went through today. Now is the turn of the Colombian phase in this call of the commercial affairs and interest in the embassy of Finland in Colombia. Susana Sula, the economic and commercial advisor. The idea behind Susana being here is just to get a sense of what are the local doors from Colombian SMEs that can be knocked on when thinking about Finland. Welcome, Susana.
Thank you, Sebastian, and very nice to meet you all. My name is, as Sebastian said, Susana Sula. I'm the Trade and Economics Affairs Advisor at the Finnish Embassy in Colombia, and we are very happy to build these connections or to go forward with these connections that you might create today. If something especially sparked your attention, we will be happy to help you or assist you in following up on those opportunities. And Colombia and Finland are celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations this year. So anything that we can do to further deepen those relations will be very welcome. So anything, in case you need anything, I will leave my email in the chat.
Thank you very much, Susana. Susana has been engaged with us right from the beginning of the Enterprise Europe Network deployment in Colombia. So very happy to have you here. And last but not least, we have Enrique. Enrique is one of our operational partners in the context of Finland from Nordic Startup Ventures. So Enrique, welcome to the pack.
Thank you very much for the intro. Yeah, like Sebastian said, we have been working together a bit with the Impact Hub for quite a while, and we're always trying to have some bilateral programs between Finland and Colombia. What I do in Nordic Startup Ventures is we have been running in Finland for around 4 years, and these days we tend to do early stage investing through angel syndicate, so angel investments, and also we do venture building on the side. And normally we do the investments through companies that we have worked through the venture building already. And as my name implies, I'm not from Finland. I'm from Spain myself. So if you have any questions from an outsider perspective coming to Finland, and if you're interested, let me know, and you can search for me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to chat there. Thanks.
And also feel free, Enrique, to leave your contact details in the chat if you.
I'll do that. Yes.
And we have some minutes now for a couple of questions. If that's the case, you can drop them in the chat, and you can directly open your microphone. And also the contacts that are going to be in the chat can be useful to address these questions specifically to the persons that could be involved. Is there any question at the moment? And you have it there, the contacts from Enrique, also from Susana, Hanna, and Susana was before, but now she shared the LinkedIn. Okay. Good, so we will stop